You know what? Let me hit that.
Really?
I can handle it.
I am certain that you cannot.
Oh, come on. I smoked a ton of weed in the 90s.
Right, the 90s.
What is good? What is good, people? Can I get a mic check real quick? Mic check. Miggity, miggity, mic check. The audio coming through clear. I want to talk to you guys about, really want to continue last night's conversation. There's a video I found this morning. Somebody sent it to me. Shout out to Freeman's Journal. And shout out to Anton Daniels. He actually brought the video to YouTube's attention as far as I know. Young men are trending right in a way that it's providing existential trouble for a lot of people on the right. Young men trending right is creating an existential crisis for people on the left. A lot of black moms are feeling some kind of way, which is to be expected. I imagine it's not pleasant raising your son with love and care or whatever it is you black moms do. And then for that son to turn around one day and to basically reject the core essence of everything you believe in. Yeah, probably not fun. It's probably not a great experience. And it's gotta suck for you. I acknowledge the suckiness of it all. But ladies, I'm here to tell you, you gotta embrace the suck. It's not like you haven't done it before, bitch. You gotta embrace the suck, all right? It's just gonna be the way it's gonna be. The men are moving in a different direction. Politics are changing.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.
There is a massive amount of right-wing radicalization that has been occurring, especially in younger male spaces. Everything is completely dominated by right-wing politics. If you're a dude under the age of 30 and you have any hobbies whatsoever, whether it's playing video games, whether it's working out, whether listening to like a history podcast or whatever, every single facet of that is just completely dominated by center right to, I wouldn't say far right in the same way that it was back in like the 2016 era at the end of like Obama's administration.
Oh, it's getting pretty far right. It's getting pretty far right. I'm raising my son to take women's rights away. It's only going to get further and further to the right. I think we're going to, I mean, SKC, you know, a long time ago, we had this conversation about things going too far. And my position is that we've gone so far to the left that too far doesn't really exist at this point. We have to go so far to the right that we don't even recognize where we are anymore before we can consider maybe we've went. I imagine too far is somewhere just before like the Inquisition. You know, like when we were burning heretics and witches and Hebrews at the stake, that's probably a bit too far. You know, just a smidge, maybe just a tad too far. We start burning people at the stake. But we should dig a hole and build a fire just to keep people warm and on their toes.
But like definitely center right to Trumpian right, like openly Trump right, not like genuinely neo-Nazi. That part is quieted down a little bit, but like they're like 90% of the way there for the most part. And that's it. Everything that they see is right-wing sentiment being expressed by individuals that they find charismatic, thought leaders, influencers that they subscribe to. And I think that that is some of the reason why you see this.
Yeah. Gentlemen, raise your kids to take women's rights away. Your daughters is going to be a more difficult proposition, obviously. So you have to approach them from a different angle. But with your sons, it's going to be really simple. These girls secretly hate you. They only want you for your pimp juice. People like that shouldn't have power over you, right? You can explain this really easy to your sons. But, you know, with your daughters, it's going to require some tact, some emotional blackmail, some fatherly guilt and shaming. You know, just tell your daughters flat out, we don't raise whores in this house, you know? You got to start talking to our daughters like grown-ups before they go off to college or whatever. They need to enter college jaded and a little bit based.
What's up? I just got an election text. I'm just ready for this to be over with, you know?
Yo, I feel you 100%. I mean, they are relentless.
Yeah.
Keep every day. Can I tell you something, to be honest?
What's up?
I don't even vote. I never really saw the point. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think we should be good.
We're not. You know what? You can call me when you're registered to vote.
Where you going?
To vote early.
Bro, even I'm registered to vote.
There's this myth out there that black men can't handle being spoken to, you know, and told what to do by black women. Black men come from our bodies.
Yeah.
So they're used to having these conversations with women.
The matriarchy is
You know,
strong with the black
It is
community.
very strong.
Yeah.
That explains why Trump is doing so well among young men.
Well,
We have one here. We have one.
I think it's a sample size of one for too long.
I love when the left attempts to define what's wrong with men, and then they use a guy like David Hogg, who's like barely a guy, like chromosomally, physiologically, he's a male, but he's not quite a guy. He's just a male. It's like a boy, but he's almost 30.
For too long, I think the Democratic Party has had this idea that compassion is kind of a zero-sum game, where somehow if we are talking about the fact that we have a mental health crisis among young men in this country right now, if we're talking about
We have a mental health crisis among young men right now because our culture and our government promotes insanity and hostility towards men in the women. These bitches are driving us crazy. That's the male mental health crisis right now in America. Everywhere you go, these bitches are just driving us crazy. And then people are like, oh my God, it's a male mental health crisis. Yeah, crazy bitches, bro. Crazy bitches make men.
Good women are dead. Evil bitches, rise up!
the real needs that young men face, that somehow it's to the detriment of other people, obviously mainly women. And I just don't think that way. I think that we can care about everybody. And I think for too long, there's been a stigma. There's been a stigma around talking about helping, those people, because obviously for thousands of years, talking about men was to the exclusion of women. And I understand the fear around that, but we have to end this taboo or else it's going to be detrimental to the future of the Democratic Party, because we have to have, both men and women.
It really is. I've got to say one other thing too. I told one of my kids, I've got 4 kids, and one of my kids, kind of progressive. I said, when they went off to school, I said, make sure you don't push the young men into the corner. You go to a liberal place. I also said this to the head of school there.
So nobody wants to acknowledge how left-wing liberal culture effectively hates men and demonizes men at every turn. Honestly, I think the promotion of the LGBT is a subtle attack on men and masculinity, broadly speaking. Because most women are a little gay naturally, but men, there's a rigidity of the male sexuality. And by intensely promoting all this LGBT stuff, it's a psychological attack on men.
I said, here's the deal. You tell young men that they are suspects because they are young men, because of the sins of men over thousands, like this collective guilt. You push them into the corner, come out Trump supporters.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I've one Democrat after another Democrat that's never voted for a Republican before, unlike me, that have said their boys, again, this was back 2016, 17, 18, 19, they would send their 7-year-old boys to school. Their 7-year-old boys would come back with these horror stories about teachers having the boys stand up, the teachers pushing those boys basically into the corner.
I was telling a story last night. I knew this day would come. And finally, my son told me, Dad, they had like some gay assembly in school today. And then you wonder why the boys are not really feeling you weirdos.
Collective guilt for thousands of years of way that men fuck up.
Racially too.
And what happens when you push somebody into the corner? Andrew Sullivan wrote about this. You push conservative into the corner, or you push a boy into the corner, they come out more radicalized. They come out, in this case, supporting Donald Trump. And that's happened to young men.
And I think it's a delicate balance, because we need to acknowledge that although young men like myself and others, we are not responsible for the creation of that environment in the first place. We also need to understand the history of that and recognize that we have a responsibility.
No, we don't have a responsibility to your tears over the past. Why do young men today have any responsibility to all these like contrived grievances. That is the problem in and of itself. The same way black men don't want to feel the shame of being an ex-slave, white men don't need the shame of being the ex-slave master. And especially when we're so far removed from it that neither one of us could even imagine what it was actually like to be in either of those roles. We don't owe shit. We don't owe guilt to the past. That's a huge problem right now, this sense of guilt to the past.
Right. Do you think social media plays a part, just the reinforcement of memes over and over, 8 hours a day?
I think social media plays a part of it. I think the commodification of hatred on social media in particular, especially
because everything's a meme. Right. Everything's a meme.
Especially since COVID, right? We know for a fact since the passage of Title IX, for example, that young men used to get back.
Somehow Mark Cuban turned into Rachel Maddow in his later years. Is it a weird thing with older guys on the left like evolving into rich, angry lesbians? There was a picture of Dave Bautista going around recently. He showed up to some awards show looking like a rich, angry lesbian. With a beard, though. But these bitches have beards now. It tracks.
Bachelor's degrees at a rate 15% higher than. Now that rate has flipped, where women are getting 15 bachelor's degrees at a rate 15% higher than men. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means that our education system needs to, we need to look at the structuring of it and realize that for young boys in particular, they're actually developmentally behind women. A lot of the time, as anybody who's had
They
kids,
need affirmative action.
They're not developmentally behind women. I think there is an unofficial effort to simply retard the men. Just so think about this from a feminist standpoint, right? If you believe in all the past ills that men are guilty of, we oppressed women, we were mean to the gays, we were all racist to all the outsiders. If you believe in that, then and your capacity as a female authority figure, it would probably be in your best overall interest, maybe in the best interest of the planet, right? For you to impede the inevitable masculine development of your male charges in whatever way you could, right? And so I argue that we have so much female leadership that there's just a collective agreement to make the boys dumb and keep them dumb so they can be Democrats and eunuchs, community eunuchs, community eunuchs. Shout out to Obsidian.
Scott Galloway is so good on this issue, and you're right. There needs to be compassion. There needs to be an understanding of what has happened over the past 1,000 or 2,000 years or whatever.
Yeah.
You have to have compassion, but at the same time, you don't assign collective guilt to young men, to young. If you do, there are consequences.
And we need to understand too that the enemy is not masculinity itself.
Right.
It's an unhealthy version commodifying masculinity where
there is no unhealthy version of masculinity. That's exactly the problem right there. Once you try to say, oh, this is good masculinity and this is bad masculinity. No, you're fucking up. It's because you're kind of weird and gay. You don't understand this, but there is no good or bad masculinity. There is only masculinity. There are good or bad men. There are bad men who employ their masculinity in a antisocial, perhaps negative fashion. And then that same society would require good men to apply their masculinity to counter those bad men. There is no toxic masculinity. There is no bad masculinity. There's only assholes and heroes. That's it. Some men are heroes. Some men are assholes. Sometimes assholes and heroes switch roles depending on the fucking moment. It is what it is. Men are complex. We have layers and shit.
They basically take what the internet's the role that the internet plays here a lot of the time is it feeds on young men's insecurities and sells them the solution to that insecurity, whether that's a gun whether that's something else that helps to perpetuate that insecurity more and says, here's your answer, purchase this product. And it's so sinister because it actually makes those men weaker by doing it. What we need to do is realize we need a healthy version. We need a healthy version of what masculinity really looks like.
Right.
David Hall got shot at one time like 8 years ago, and this nigga been crying ever since, bro. You, Jesus Christ, you couldn't survive where we come from. Nigga heard gunfire one time in an uncomfortable situation, and he ain't never been right, bro. Bro, try growing up in Brooklyn and playing this bullshit. Oh my God, they were shooting at my school today. Did you do your homework though? Yeah, I feel like this is a conversation I might have with one of my kids one day. My son's gonna call me up like, Dad, they shooting outside of my school. Yeah, but you didn't forget your homework though, right? I don't give a shit if they shot Daquan in front of your school. Do you have your paperwork? Just saying. Nigga been crying about this shit for like 8 years now. Grow up already. Get old. Niggas get shot every day, B. You be all right.
It looks like this.
If I can quote Scott Galloway one more time, and I think I heard him say this on your show. For my parents, the masculinity was you worked hard, you played by the rules, and you took care of other people. You took care of people around you. You took care of your children. You took care.
No, you see, you take care of your people, not other people. The fact that you even say other people almost sounds like you're going to take care of people who are not your people. That's never been a rule of masculinity. If you're going to take care of people, you take care of your people. Other people are other people. They should have men over there taking care of their problems. I'm trying to get this money.
Of your loved ones, you took care of people.
And you didn't complain and whine
about everything.
And always be talking about how everything is so unfair and you got a bad deal. That's so unmasculine.
Right.
Suck it up.
Suck it up.
Yeah. Suck your terrible life.
Now you say that kind of shit, you know, men never complained and whined about everything being unfair. It's not exactly true. Men tend to go to war behind everything being unfair. You know, you keep pushing, you keep squeezing men, and eventually they push back. We're not quite like the girls. Girls will cry and whine indefinitely until you give in or slap the shit out of them. But, you know, guys, we work slightly differently. There's a different tone to being a guy. I don't think the Democrats really get that about guys because they hate men so much they can't properly understand men.
You have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person. You just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president.
Black men are used to matriarchy, okay? Black men are used to Black women being the heads of the family, Black grandmothers raising them. They are used to that.
What you thinking, girl?
It's afraid. It's afraid!
You have someone who has consistently shown.
Hey, shout out to Dolomite with the $5 for a few dollars in the hat. Thanks for the cash out, bro. Appreciate you supporting the show, man. Actually, we had a couple of cash apps last night. I think I forgot to highlight. My man Mujahid with the $10 cash app. Repeal Reaganomics, reopen the psychiatric hospitals. Shout out to everybody who was supporting the show, man. Appreciate you guys coming through. We developed a nice crowd in here, man. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. Pull up a chair. We're gonna keep the show going, man. Thank you for supporting the show.
I need that money.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Count that money, man. Count that fucking money, man. Count the money.
Now, before we get into the meat of the show. Let's just play one last crazy black woman clip. I haven't talked about Joy Reid in a couple of days.
I do believe that this election is a litmus test for American tolerance for fascism. The elements of fascism are rooted in this nationalistic drive for more babies for the state, for a strongman driven nation, and a deep sort of state-based religion.
How on the one hand, people on the left need more illegal immigrants because America isn't making enough babies. But if you actually want to make more babies, they call you a fascist. Isn't that kind of weird? It seems like you just don't want us to reproduce. You want other people to be here. But, if actual Americans, black or white, decide that we need more babies and bigger families, somehow we become a fascist. That's wild.
Religiosity. So I do believe we have a media problem, and we do have some of our media that is leading people toward fascism. The question of America has become too soft and feminine. I think that it's a fascist litmus test. So this question of whether the society is too soft and feminine.
Not wanting your society to be soft or feminine, fascism. It seems like all the cool stuff is fascism, by the way. One day they're going to be like roller coasters and convertibles and motorcycles are all symbols of American fascism.
It was alarming to me that a majority of Hispanic Protestants agree, but that's not shocking. Immigrants are poisoning the blood of the country. This is one of the most terrifying things that you've heard a presidential candidate say, because it is straight out of Mein Kampf. 23% of Jewish respondents agree with that, because that's straight out Nazi talk.
I don't really want to get into this. I'm not going to go too far into this, but there's a guy on the right. His name is James Lindsay, and he's actually done a lot of great work. Some of the more obscure occult even motivations of people on the left. And he's anti-communist, arguably, right? But James Lindsay has gone on this campaign in the last couple of weeks of attacking what he calls the woke right. And I've been hearing this term woke right for months now, and I really couldn't pin it down to what it actually meant. And all it boils down to is you have to support Israel. Otherwise, you're a fascist and you're on the woke right. A lot of weird threads starting to tie together lately. A lot of trends starting to move in a similar direction lately. A lot of things are happening on the ground, man. It's getting very spicy out here, guys. It's getting very, very spicy out here. But I want to now go to the main event right here. Let's get to this main article. And I hate TikTok and all of its weird features. I got to figure out how to work this thing properly. Can I close this big doofy white part of the screen over here? Why can't I big screen this whole thing? TikTok. This is why I don't come here often. Never feel comfortable in TikTok. It's always strange and funny. Buttons don't do what they look like they're supposed to do and shit. Going on TikTok is like those scenes in Police Academy when they stumbled into the Blue Oyster. It's like, whoa, I don't think this place is made for us. I got first to get it that big. See, I'm not trying to do all this extra shit. God damn it. Anyway, let's just get to it.
There's this myth out there that black men can't handle being spoken to, and told what to do by black women. Black men come from our bodies. So they're used to having these conversations with women.
The matriarchy is strong with the black
It is
community.
very strong.
If you are the mom, the aunt, the cousin, the grandma, the sister, the friend of a Black male who is of voting age, I desperately need you to watch this video. If you're not, you can keep scrolling. But if you are, I need you to watch this video and I need your advice. I'm a mother of a 24-year-old, handsome Black male who lives down the South. I love up, grew up in a very, you can call it liberal household. My household has always, including my husband, he grew up with a man in the household, a male role model. Both of us are educated. We've always.
Right away, she didn't just simply say he grew up with his father, which is what I would. This kind of what I was expecting to hear her say in that moment. I'm now assuming that he didn't grow up with his father. He grew up with whatever nigga married you, your husband. See, your husband can never be his father. Anyway, I'm not going to go too much further than that.
Advocated and been activists for the rights of marginalized and oppressed, include people of Black, brown, Muslim, Asian.
So you tried to raise him woke, basically, right? Trying to instill all these globalist, gender fluid ideas into your boy's head, huh? Okay.
People with disabilities, LGBTQIA, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We've talked about rights as we have a nonprofit. We do lots of things in the community that supports the politics and the policies of Vice President Kamala Harris. I even remember the day that Barack Obama won the election.
So she's basically like an activist, huh? You got like a nonprofit. You be out there doing the work, as they say. So like you be in these streets. It's weird, huh? And he just won't follow.
In 2000, my son was 8 years old. And the very next day he got up and put on a suit and tie. He wanted to wear that to school because he saw himself in that moment that he could be the president of the United States. However, in the past several months, he has been giving me strong indications, although he has not said it out loud, that he wants to vote for a former president.
He's been giving strong indications, but he hasn't said it out loud. See, this is the shit that make me mad. Like, this is why I hate talking to women sometimes. What the fuck are strong indications? What does that even mean? Did he just one day walk out the house butt naked with nothing but a Trump hat on? Like, what the fuck do you mean by strong indications? Is he on the carnivore diet? What is the strong indication you mean?
In this election, we are constantly talking him off of that ledge. We are constantly defending Vice President Kamala Harris and reinforcing what we experienced under the oppressive conditions, the police brutality, et cetera, that we experienced under the president.
Hey, JH, don't get thrown out of the gulag, bro. You joke too much, JH. You joke way too much, bro. don't get kicked out of the gulag, bro. Chill. Nigga joking way too far. All right. We gonna forget you ever said that bullshit, man. This type of shit I gotta de-wrench motherfuckers over.
We have to continue to reinforce Project 2025 and what that's going to mean for him as a Black man in the future. But for some, about once a week, we had to talk him off that ledge. I'm not sure what's going on with our young Black.
So once a week, you have to talk him off the Trump ledge. So he's 24 years old. I don't even think y'all live close to each other. You said he's down south, you up north. So like you just be calling him, harassing him You got to vote for Kamala. You got to vote for Kamala. And this is why when I was talking about The View last night, I mean, I had to tell them they were right. Niggas is deep in the matriarchy. Whether we fighting it or not, we are in the matriarchy. We are all deep in the shit.
There's this myth out there that black men can't handle being spoken to, you know, and told what to do by black women. Black men come from our bodies.
Yeah.
So they're used to having these conversations with women.
The matriarchy is
You know,
strong with the black
It is
community.
very strong.
Grew up in a very privileged household. He has had all of his needs met, and
He grew up in a privileged household, you say? You know, last night there was a guy in the chat, I forget his name now, but he said, yeah, he grew up, he was raised to be a house nigga, essentially. We were having the whole Phil Nib, house nib thing, and he said, yeah, I was raised to be a house nigga, but I gotta side with the Phil Nibs on this one. And that's because even in the house, bro, the call of the wild can be heard. Even when you're deep in the matriarchal mansion, you hear the call of the wild. And as a man, it's easy to start to realize that things just aren't really right. There's something weird about this place. And so I told him he was on his young Atreides, man. He out there in the wilderness trying to find his way. You fucking local bitches and conquering them wild beasts and shit. Nigga on his manhood journey.
maybe because he hasn't had to go a day without health care, he hasn't had to go a day without food and his basic necessities. If his human rights or his educational rights or whatever rights that he is entitled to has ever been breached, we have always been there to advocate for him. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe that privileged life that he has experienced of a young Black man.
Oh, you loved him too much. Is that what it is? You loved him too much? Maybe if we would have been rougher on him. Maybe we'd have beat him like Massa said.
Has somehow aligned with Donald Trump's privilege. And somehow he sees himself more in him than he does Vice President Kamala Harris. But more important,
that is the dumbest shit ever. And this is what because I watched this whole thing earlier and I was like, wow, the fact that you would even think that way and want that you would look at your son and expect him to see himself in a fucking woman, bro. And this is the shit that frustrates me about the women, especially Black women. It's like, bitch, you're gone too far. All right, you're gone too blood clot far. It's too much. It's too fucking much. You cannot expect your son to see him and you as a woman. You know, when they start saying that whole I'm the mom and I'm the dad bullshit, he'll never see you as a man. He'll never see you as his masculine role model. And here's the weird part. This is where it gets fucked up. Actually does start to see you as a masculine role model. That's him being mentally homosexualized. You're making his brain gay now. And, you know, free your mind and your ass will follow. But these bitches really think that, oh, you should see all of your masculine cues in me. Like, I played that big back, bald-headed gorilla bitch doing some poetry last night talking about, I taught you how to fight. I taught you how to lead, but you won't vote for me. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly why.
rights that he is entitled to has ever been breached. We have always been there to advocate for him. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe that privileged life that he has experienced of a young Black man has somehow aligned with Donald Trump's privilege. And somehow he sees himself more in him than he does Vice President Kamala Harris.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Shout out to Anunnaki, the one with the 50 ball. A whole 50 ball. Shout out to Anunnaki. We Hulk smashing up in this bitch today, baby. God damn, a $50 Cash App. Support the show. Like, share, and subscribe, man. Thank you guys for coming in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Shout out to all the Gulag denizens out there. We growing. This jail getting big, y'all.
Hulk! Smash! Smash you! You make Hulk angry. You not like Hulk angry. Hulk no like fighting girls.
Thank you all so much for being here. Appreciate you guys, especially my loyal listeners who jump in the chat early and often. Thank you all so much for being here. We are talking about My Black Son Wants to Vote for Trump. This lady is putting out a call for help. She is describing the problem. She loved him and raised him and black girl magic and wealth and comfort for his whole life. And now he's a grown man and he'd rather vote with Trump than identify with Kamala. Appreciate you guys being here. Support the show. Let's get back at it.
There's this myth out there that black men can't handle being spoken to, and told what to do by black women. Black men come from our bodies. So they're used to having these conversations with women.
The matriarchy is strong with the black
It is
community.
very strong.
When I die, I'ma go to Snow Bunny Heaven. Snow Bunny Heaven.
But more importantly, not more importantly, but what really keeps me up at night is that as a black woman, I have always made it a priority to show him the strength of a black woman. I started out as a single mother with him. I went to law school with him.
Started out as a single mother. So you got knocked up by some nigga, his daddy. Obviously, she's not married to his daddy. See, now it all starts to come clear, right? So started out as a single mother and you struggled and now you live well, very well, if I, judge by some of the cues I'm taking in here. And you expect your journey of single motherhood. You want your son masculine cues from your journey, your rise into your glorious position as like a comfortable, wealthy, former single mom who's now married, got you a rich stepdaddy, probably a bald-headed, light-skinned simp, and you want him to follow in your footsteps? Like you want him to marry a bald-headed, light-skinned simp when he gets old too? I don't understand what you want from him to take from your journey.
His first day of kindergarten was my first day of law school. So he witnessed me struggle through law school.
So your first day of kindergarten is mom's first day of law school, right? So think about this, right? It's hard to be great at everything. Most people can do like one thing, sometimes two, right? You get a rare person who's like, Leonardo da Vinci. This motherfucker can do all the things, right? People can't be great at everything. And in the time where you were, the younger the children is, the more need for mothering there is, right? And at that crucial stage, you were, quote, bettering yourself. And you can't be in two places at one time.
School. He witnessed me even after I graduated, started making salaries, the struggle and my rise and my fight through many things throughout my life. And to not see that same strength and determination in another black woman.
They're not all my mama. They can't all be my mama. I'm not even all that impressed with my own goddamn mama.
I have black mother privilege. And I'm going to start breaking that down for y'all. Because because there is a privilege for me as a Black mother. I'm not going to have the same relationship. My sons adore me. My sons will put their life on the line in a New York minute over me. My sons will lose everything they have over me. Over me? It ain't happening. My sons will turn on their father over me. Over me? So when you ask me about my Black sons, the relationship does not correlate the same to what I'm saying about Black men.
Oh shit, y'all niggas going ham today. Shout out to Steven with the 20 ball. The $20 cash app. Hey, shout out to JH Marvelous with the $3 cash app. He says, here's some shekels for my atonement. You know you was on some bullshit. Like, I know you joking. We all know you joking because we be joking like that. But goddamn, nigga, that was a bit too far. You're gone too far, bro. You're gone too far. But shout out to JH Marvelous for supporting the show, man.
Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Yes.
And then my man Sabir. I feel like he was trying to one up somebody. I ain't gonna say no names, but Sabir with the $55 cash app. Shout out to Sabir. Holy shit, y'all niggas going ham today.
It's Uncle Remus, spinning his warm, funny stories.
What Black women are doing, I don't care. They're their own group. When they decide to work with us, they will. Otherwise, they won't. And they don't have to. They have their own power, their own productivity. They don't need us for anything. And I'm okay with that.
The key to happiness is to eliminate all Black women from your life. I mean, look at me. No Black women in my life. Look how happy I am. I'm happy as a nigga with a new gun.
Now, Ruckus, that is preposterous.
Good afternoon, boys and girls. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, not nice.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
You need to leave? No, bitch.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hit that like button, y'all.
Hulk! Smash! Smash you! You make Hulk angry. You not like Hulk angry. Hulk no like fighting girls.
And then shout out to Anubis with the $25 cash app. I didn't even notice that. That came in a minute ago, man. Thank y'all so much, man. Appreciate y'all supporting the show. And I can't even stay on long today. I promise, though, I will be back later on this evening. We're going to have a panel session and everything. But I got some shit to do in the meantime. We're going to finish this one up, though.
It has me down. It has me disappointed. It has me wondering, where did I go wrong? Where did my household go wrong? Why am I having to have these conversations? These are just not conversations that I ever pictured having with any child.
Oh, wait. We got a hose mad this bitch.
Hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad.
This is about targeting women of color in the United States of America. Don't tell me, because I didn't get a single apology.
Time has expired.
My life was threatened. Thank you.
Hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad.
Shout out to Mr. O with the info with the whole $10 cash app. All right, Mama's mad. Let's go back a couple seconds.
Go wrong?
Where did she go
Why am I
wrong?
having to have these conversations? These are just not conversations that I ever pictured having with any child of mine, with anyone, honestly, that shares my bloodline of people. The whole family has advocated for civil rights. I come from Montgomery, Alabama. My whole family in some sort of civil rights movement.
She got woke genetics, bro. She got woke epigenetics. I bet you she wake up remembering marching across Selma. Bitch wasn't even there. She just got woke epigenetics and shit. She got Alabama blood. She got civil rights in her DNA. I got civil rights and marching all inside my DNA.
Throughout history. So if you are, again, a Black mom, sister, cousin, aunt, whatever, friend, grandma, and you're having to have these same conversations, just let me know.
She sound like she on the verge of tears, by the way. Like, this is really breaking her. This is stressing her out. She can't even wear her good weave right now. She's so stressed out.
Me know I'm not. Let me know what you're doing, how you're having these conversations, how they're going for you.
Yeah, I think so too, David. David, facts. I think so too. That's his daddy blood kicking in. That's his daddy blood kicking in. I know when I got to be about 20-something years old, I felt my daddy's blood starting to rise up. I felt different. You know, you get out your mama's house and your daddy blood start to boil up in you sometime. It's a different thing. Not everybody can relate to that shit. Nigga moved out, started manning up. She don't recognize him no more. That's the way it goes, mama.
I need some support, y'all. I do. I need some support. But let's get this done. Let's get this done. I don't want for him to have to see in real life what I'm talking about.
Now he knows why his daddy never stayed with his mama. Now he's starting to realize all the little ins and outs of exactly why daddy didn't never stay with mama. Now you're starting to see it. I see everything my daddy's seeing in you now. That's why I'm voting for Trump, bitch. God damn it. Oh, that's cold. That was cold. That was real though. That was real though. I see everything in you that my daddy ran away from, and I'm voting for Trump. That shit gotta sting though. That shit gotta sting.
If this person is put into office, I don't want him to experience that. Because we know what can happen to him, what can happen to me, what can happen to you if, for some reason, he has to experience these lessons that I'm trying to. If you are the mom,
That's what happens when you finally stand up to your mama. She start getting on the internet asking other single moms for help and shit. She reach out to the Single Mom Sisterhood Network and shit. If you are a mom who has raised a boy who decided to become a Trump supporter, do you have any help for me? Do you have any advice for me? Because this little nigga tripping. And I'm gonna need y'all to give me some help before I send this little son of a bitch back to Jesus.
Mad. MAGA is mad at me. I don't even know how I ended up on the MAGA side of TikTok, but I'm just sitting here drinking my coffee, minding my business. They are mad because I made a video that my son and I share opposing political viewpoints, and I was just showing concern about his, and thinking that's not the discussions that we've typically. But it doesn't mean I don't invite those discussions. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna just abandon my son. I mean, or whatever it is, all these comments that are going in, but they're mad.
It's a good thing he too old to abandon. He 24. If that nigga was 14, I'd be worried for him. I ain't even gonna lie. If he was like 14, he was 17, that nigga's on the edge. If that nigga was like 17, he about to get his voter ID and shit, talking this Trump shit, you gonna put that nigga out. You gonna probably drive that nigga to your local bad neighborhood and tell him get out the car and walk home just to teach him a lesson and shit. You gonna put that nigga through it. I already know. You're gonna put that nigga all the way through it. Lucky he's 24, he not 14. Shout out to Dylan with the $5 cash app, man. Y'all been so fucking generous today. That shit is amazing, man. Thank you for supporting the show, y'all.
Hey.
You get the bag and fumble it, I get the bag and flip it and tumble it. Straight off the lot, 300 cash, and the car came with a blunt in it.
Phil niggas forever, man. Shout out to Dylan, man. Shout out to Dylan for supporting the show.
I need that money.
You know, sometimes this shows me why I'm not a member of this party, why it just continues to perpetuate my beliefs in humanity. Like, to call someone an awful woman, an awful mother, because they show concern about their kids. I'm not going to control him. He can vote.
See, it is that fake. This is like concern trolling. This is that shit women do. This is especially like liberal. You know, liberal white women are the masters of this shit. They kind of pioneered the concern trolling. But I'm just worried about him. I think, you know, if he votes for Trump, you know, what's gonna happen? Not just the city, but the world, Craig. And we's black. I don't want him to wind up on a plantation because he voted for Trump. This fake ass concern trolling, this is moral fagging, this is all bullshit.
Whoever he wants to vote for. I'm not escorting him into that booth. And when he comes out, we're going to have the same relationship that we had with him coming in, with me being supportive of him and him being supportive of me. That's the way a healthy relationship works, where you show concern with someone, when you have fruitful dialogue with someone and you get other people's perspectives, and maybe they change your mind, maybe not. But that's okay. It's okay to have different worldviews with people. Doesn't mean that you can't still love them and respect them and show compassion and respect. But obviously,
TikTok got in your ass, all right? We in a new day, bitch. You for how you talk about black men. Niggas is getting active in these internet streets. Niggas be flooding the comment section now, like, yo, what's up? Writing letters to The View, making them remove clips and shit. Sonny Hostin, we saw you. We never forget. The internet never forgets, bitch. We know. We know what you said last week.
on the other side of TikTok, that's not the way the conversations go down. And that's troubling too. That's troubling too. Are y'all okay? Are y'all okay? I'm worried about you. I'm concerned about you. Now I'm concerned about all y'all now. I'm concerned about your kids too. Oh, MAGA is mad. MAGA is
It is bullshit. Let me show you guys one other thing. Before we get out of here.
mad. It's mad.
Because I scrolled through some of her TikTok just to kind of get a feel. You know, there's nothing really shocking here. Typical TikTok stuff. She's married, but doing single cat lady shout outs and shit, which is really weird. But I want to show you something. You know, mental health day here. She actually lost a lot of weight. Like, this is, I guess, her full body shot. Not terrible. How to overcome loneliness? Oh, what's that?
Hey, y'all. Let's talk a little bit about loneliness.
Never mind, I'm over it. Anyway, give a fuck about your loneliness.
I would be feeling this level of loneliness.
There was a story
hometown in 2005 and
in here that I want you to know.
And this is before.
Is this
on social media is to empower ambitious
professionals
to thrive in their corporate roles.
Here we go.
Story time. So this is why I cannot get a
Hit the like button, y'all.
pre-check pass. So basically, I've been on global.
I love when these bitches tell on themselves, by the way. Let Her Talk was one of the best hashtags that the Black Manosphere ever produced, bro. Just let her talk a little bit longer, and you'll all understand why I hate her and want to take her rights away.
global traveler for many, many years and just now decided to apply. After there were some revisions done at my local airport, it takes much longer to get through security. But application was denied because I have been involuntarily admitted to a mental health facility. So,
Involuntarily. That means they had to run down on you with like that little rope on a stick that they use with the dog catchers. They had to run down on you and take you away. You were involuntarily committed. That means you had a meltdown publicly, most likely. Like you did some shit. You was spazzing out in the Walmart or something. And this is probably when you was a big bitch because you lost weight recently. So you was a big back beastie bitch having a meltdown in public. And then they just threw you into one of them happy hospitals.
let's talk more about that. During COVID, the beginning of COVID, I had a mental health crisis, like many of you did, and had a suicide attempt.
And a nigga married her after that. And some nigga actually married her. I'm sure it was after. But some nigga actually married her after that.
I'm telling you, man. This the reason why I be hating niggas, man. I'm telling you, man. It just be us. I be hating niggas, man.
With pills, it was an OD. When I became conscious, I
OD'd.
woke up admitted into a mental health facility.
She OD'd. Oh, she was popping them yerkies. Oh, okay. That's what it was. She was popping them yerkies. Oh, damn. Damn, son. That's bad. That's bad. That's real bad.
And like many of you, I had a lot of stereotypes and just the scaries about being admitted to a mental health facility. I thought it would be an experience like I see on TV. I wanted to go home. I demanded to go home. They deemed me unsafe because I had just tried to commit suicide to go home. So I was voluntarily admitted. I spent 10 days there. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder while I was there. My experience was not what I thought it would be.
She's bipolar. And the plot thickens. How did I know you was crazy without knowing you was crazy, though?
That it was the beginning of a very positive mental health journey. But on the TSA application, in TSA, if you get a pre-check pass, it just means that you're a low risk to security there to be on a plane. There are questions that they ask you, such as, are you a U.S. citizen? Have you been convicted of a felony? But one of the questions is, have you been involuntarily committed to a mental health facility? And of course, my answer to that question was yes. So therefore, it says if you answer yes to this question, you should reconsider.
Aha, your mama's a TSA security threat. Aha. They got shoot on sight orders with your mama at the airport. Aha.
So according to TSA, because at one point I took too many pills and didn't want to be on this earth at one time, and although I've been getting treatment ever since, I guess I'm a high risk to security. I can still get on a plane. It just means I got to take off my shoes and show them my laptop and all of that. But this is just.
And you have to sit calm and quietly the whole time. Like, bitch, better not say a fucking word. Shut up. Shut the fuck up, bitch, before I TSA your ass. Get the fuck out of here. Don't say shit. Shut up. Shut up. Sit down. Eat the peanuts, bitch. And I'm giving you the hot can of ginger ale. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. What you gonna do? You gonna suicide this plane? You gonna crash this plane, ain't you? You gonna crash this goddamn plane, ain't you? I don't even know why they let these cuckoo birds fly up here with us.
It's Uncle Remus, spinning his warm, funny stories.
Like, the marriage has been hijacked by fucking entertainers, conservative entertainers, by the way.
Just a prime example of the way that stigma shows up in society, how our laws aren't really structured for those with mental health conditions. We're all lumped into one group. We're considered dangerous, a threat to society. And if that's happening with laws, imagine what's happening in the workplace. Let's go to that next.
She should always have to fly next to the Burger King guy, by the way. That should be her TSA stipulation. Like, we're not even going to make you take your shoes off or nothing. We'll let you fly like regular people, but you got to sit next to the Burger King guy every flight, the whole time. And you can't. Those are the rules. If you want us to treat you like regular people, you got to sit there quietly next to the Burger King guy for the whole fucking flight. I don't care what he does. You got to sit there quietly and just sit there with your fucking eyes forward. Read that little airplane magazine. Buy something out of that little weird catalog they be selling you. Don't do shit. Just sit there next to the Burger King.
Next in my next video.
Don't let her fly nowhere.
Story time.
I bet you're going to do something.
This is
On social
And
media,
then
is
on
to
top of that,
Life does not. Oh my God.
she wrote a book. Crazy as fuck. Yeah, she wrote a book, bro. Crazy as fuck. And it's free. Crazy as fuck. Her book free. Her crazy book free. She just giving away the crazy. Here, you get some crazy. You get some crazy. Everybody gets some crazy. She just giving away the crazy, bro. This bitch is dangerous. This bitch got to be stopped. She got to be stopped. She should not be voting, bro. I don't know how her son is trying to fight through the light, but that nigga is trying to fight. Her son is trying to make it. Sabir, that nigga trying to make it. That nigga said, I will not be held back by this crazy bitch, bro. She out here just giving away the crazy for free and shit. Nah, that nigga trying to make it. Said, I'm going to vote for Trump and I'm going to be somebody. He got to get away. This nigga trying to get away, bro. Wait. You got to run for your life, little nigga. You got to run for your life, bro. Mama is out here just writing whole crazy bitch manifestos and shit. And then she not even trying to sell the crazy bitch manifesto. She just trying to give it away to other crazy bitches so they can multiply and spread.
Good women are dead. Evil bitches, rise up!
Bro. Fucking wicked, bruv. Fucking wicked, bruv. Oh, man. Well, we have spent like the last two shows, last night and just now, talking about the matriarchy and such and so forth. And, you know, we typically have panels and such over here. Here's the deal. About 8 something, we'll have us a Saturday evening panel. I ain't even going to talk all that much. I'm just going to fire up the show. We're going to open up a panel. Some of you new niggas might want to join. It's like 130 something people in here right now. I know I don't know all of you niggas. So we're going to have us a panel. We just going to have us a general fuckery show tonight. We just going to talk about whatever comes up. But, you know, we're not going to talk about whatever comes up. Nah, because you niggas is retarded. You're going to start talking about all kind of shit. We're going to talk about the matriarchy. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have a matriarchy panel this evening. I might find a few extra clips to, you know, gin up the machine, as it were. But we're going to have us a matriarchy panel this evening. So hold on to your save some weed for later. Make sure you guys run to the liquor store. I got to grab me a bottle while I'm out too. Maybe get me a beer or something. Yeah, we're going to have us a good old-fashioned matriarchy hootenanny. And I think we might talk about this crazy bitch on the screen right now because she got smoked. That shit was wild. I tweeted this picture out. This is like great art for my SYSBM album cover. We might talk about this bitch. You know, I think she was a member of the sisterhood. Maybe not the matriarchy. I don't know if she got kids, but she's definitely a big back sisterhood girl. You about to talk about this chick right here? There you go. There you go. Well, shout out to that Chinese man who hit her with the God hand. Yes, the Chinese man with the God hand. Who fucking knew? Hit that bitch with the God hand. Block out. You are healed.
Get it again. Okay, I'm going to say it again. I come in the name of Jesus. Repeat it after me, bitch. I come in the name of Jesus by the power of the Holy Spirit.
All right, we got to get up out of here, man. Thank you to everybody who supported the show today, by the way. Appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. This is why I'm coming back for a doubleheader this evening. We're going to open up the panel, man. We're going to let everybody get up in there, and we're going to have it out. We're going to do some matriarchy panel commentary later on tonight. So let's get things over with. We got a day to kill. We'll be back at this evening. I'll talk to you guys later, man. Appreciate you guys being here.
Aspiring to be patriarchs like what white men have, that isn't freedom. That isn't going to help anybody. It's certainly not going to help black people.
It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done.